Dear Chairperson, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the government of Mongolia fully supports the implementation of the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction 2015 to 2030, the Sustainable Development Goals 2030, and the Paris Agreement on Climate Change approved by the United Nations. We continue putting our efforts for ensuring the coherence and effective implementation of the world's documents at national and international levels. The Mongolia's national strategy for the implementation of the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction in Mongolia was approved in 2017, and its implementation is being reported on a regular basis to the UNDDR's Sendai Monitoring Platform. The national strategy is being implemented through partnerships and collaboration of state and local governments, academia, civil society, and citizens and international organizations. There used to be only a relief-based approach, whereas it now has been replaced with a new strategy. That includes disaster prevention, early warning, and public awareness to complement the complete approach for saving lives and livelihoods in disaster management. While implementing the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction, we experienced challenges due to a lack of well-experienced human resource and technical capacity. We must strive for science-based research, innovation, and technology to ensure disaster preparedness and to build a resilient infrastructure. Due to freight, logistics, and trade tariffs, similar challenges are also observed in landlocked and developing countries. Thus, we have successfully updated a legal framework for disaster prevention and established a new management and coordination mechanism for disaster risk reduction while ensuring the coherence with goals and objectives of the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction. Located in a seismologically sensitive zone, Mongolia has been witnessing a substantial increase in earthquake frequency and scales in recent years. In 2021 only, the number of registered occurrences has increased by 6 times compared to the preceding years. For instance, in the capital city of Ulaanbaatar, 900 occurrences have been registered, of which 42 of them are on a scale of 2 to 5.9 magnitudes. In this relation, we stand for encouraging international and regional collaborations in the development of early warning mechanisms and upgrading the earthquake preparedness practices for disaster risk reduction and to bring partnerships to a new level, enriching and expanding projects and programs for comprehensive disaster management policies and investments. Mongolia fully supports the UNDDR Global Initiative on making cities more resilient for reducing disaster risks and ensuring sustainable development in urban areas by joining all its cities and provincial centers in the campaign and intensifying the development of the risk-preventive urban plans. Since the first case of the COVID-19 pandemic registered in Mongolia in November 2020, the government of Mongolia took all necessary measures and implemented a 5-phase strategy, which is to protect the public health, limit cross-border activities, vaccinate the population, adapt to a new norm to build resilience. Vaccine support programs like COVAX, Global Equitable Access to COVID-19 Vaccines, Republic of India, the US, Japan, Russian Federation, and People's Republic of China have provided invaluable support to lower and middle-income countries. Currently, Mongolia has fully vaccinated about 65% of its total population through the purchase, COVAX program, and assistance from other countries. The client case allows the government to spin off some measures step by step, including opening of international flights and promoting international tourism. It was followed by policies of reopening the economic sectors, especially the service and education facilities by phase, and supporting household livelihoods to bring back the national economy. On top of that, efforts are being put into preventing from resurging of the pandemic. The lessons that we have learned include restructuring and strengthening the healthcare system and developing information database, pharmaceutical resource, and e-services. Prior to the pandemic, the use of information technology was deeply ingrained only in economic, business, and financial sectors. Yet, the pandemic has played an important role in expanding information technology into innovative forms, such as improvements in distance diagnosis, treatments, trade, e-learning, and online earnings. As part of the e-government initiative, the government of Mongolia has developed the e-Mongolia platform and has aimed to make available at least 90% of public service activities on the platform by 2024 and to digitalize all public service in the near future. Just following the challenging period of this pandemic, the coincidence of armed conflicts in various regions of the world has shaken the global geopolitics and has led to misunderstandings and misinformation around the world. It is now creating shortages of goods and supplies and causing economic crisis in landlocked countries such as Mongolia. Thus, it urges us to build a reserve of essential and strategic products and materials. Exposure, scale, and occurrence of disaster and natural catastrophes have steadily been increasing, and they have a negative impact on sustainable development. Climate change and global warming are causing new and complex disaster risk issues. Sand and dust storms caused by desertification now threaten Mongolia's ecosystem and have become a pressing issue for us. Because of climate change, there is no substantive decrease of forest and steppe fire in terms of their frequency and consequence. Therefore, Mongolia proposed to set up an international management networking for landscape fire. All major projects and programs, whether in infrastructure, urban or industrial development, needs to be scrutinized and endorsed from the point of view of disaster risk reduction. Climate change has intensified over the past 90 years in Mongolia, with the average air temperature increasing by 2.25 degrees Celsius, which is twice the global average. In Mongolia, almost 77% or 120 million hectares of the territory is affected by the desertification, and half of the total is classified as severely affected. Compared to 1990, the number of climate change related to natural disaster has tripled in Mongolia. There are 66 countries that have pledged to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions by 22.7% by 2030. During the UN Climate Change Conference 2021 held in Glasgow, UK, Mongolia announced that it is possible to increase the target level to 27.2% by introducing advanced technology and innovation approaches and increasing green financing. Considering the alarming rate of air temperature warming, which is twice as high as the global average, and a significant percentage of its territory being affected by desertification and land degradation, Mongolia launched a national movement to plant and grow 1 billion trees by 2030. Our country pledged to focus on increasing soil carbon sequestration, reducing deforestation and land degradation, land reclamation, and preventing water scarcity. Thank you for your attention.